So now it's time to start using the watercolor. What you're going to need for this is you're going to need a watercolor dish unless you are using the liquid watercolor. Um, you're going to need some tape, you're going to need your project, and then a paper towel, a brush, and a dish with water. Okay, so the reason I have the paper towel here is to wipe off my brush if I need to. The tape is here to tape down my project because you're going to be getting the paper fibers wet again, so it's going to want to crinkle and buckle, which is fine, but just be aware that that's going to happen. Obviously, the watercolor dish is right here. If you have not yet, please watch the video on how to use watercolors and how to clean them up. It'll help all of us out. So, first thing I'm going to do here is tape this down. Just going to take a little piece of tape here and tape down the four sides because I don't want them buckling while I'm doing this. So I'm going to put one over here, real tiny in the corner. Don't want to take up too much because it will show up later on. Yep, just trying to lay this flat so that while I'm doing the watercolor, it will bubble. It's gonna, not bubble but it will start to bend. But I just want to try and stop that as much as possible. I'm even going to try a little bit right here. It's gonna have a hard time sticking to where the oil pastels are. But it's okay. All right, so now you can decide how you want to do this. I can decide do I want to make the background of this warm and the background of this cool? I don't know if that's gonna work. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to echo the colors that are already there, meaning I'm going to use blues and warm colors here and then greens for the background. What you have to know about using watercolors, and I'm going to reiterate what was already done in the video about how to use watercolors. Don't make them too thick. They're supposed to be more light and airy feeling, okay? So I'm going to come in here. Let's start with blue first. Now because I already have the oil pastels down, I can just go right over it. So as you can see, the water and the oil are repelling each other, so watercolors and the oil pastels aren't mixing. It's beating up a little bit here, so just keep that in mind that you might need to take a little bit of paper towel and just kind of dab off some of the stuff on some of your larger areas, like right here. But some of the smaller areas, you don't really have to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my brush is nice and washed off, and I'm going to actually try and mix. So if you look right now, you can see my paper's starting to bulge a little bit in places. So I want to keep the tape down to try and keep it as flat as possible for as long as possible. Alright, so now I'm going to really make sure my brush is washed off really good because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the warm colors. So I'm pretty much done with the head here. Everything's been watercolored. You're going to see why we have these thick black lines because otherwise you'd start getting watercolors going in between. You just got to monitor how much water you're using. If you use too much water, it's going to start moving all over the place. So light and fluffy. Don't make it super thick, but don't use a ton of water that it starts to drip all over the place. The last things I'm going to do is I'm going to do the background here. I think I'm just going to do it in a flat green color, and then maybe I'll try something with the face. I don't know. Okay, all done. What you're going to do now is you're going to clean up. I would leave this taped on your table as long as you can. Just because it'll help it flatten back out again, but it's always going to be a little wavy. Don't freak out about it. That's just the way it's going to look. Okay? So, go ahead, start cleaning up. You're done. Project is finished.